in order to actually be different from the crowd and in order to create better ads, what you need to do is you need to do consistent test, right? So what we do is now every Monday, a marketing team will decide all the best ideas that they think that are innovative and they are really different from the marketplace, and we would just go out and spend 10% of our budget doing these mini tests every Monday, and then we would run them for a week or so, see their performance and see if they are able to outperform our control funnel. This means our main funnels that we have, or the main marketing that we are doing, can these split tests or can these mini tests that we are doing every Monday, can they outperform our main funnel? And these tests include the most unconventional things, like just the best way to think about it is just look at what your competitors are doing and just don't do it, or just do completely opposite. And trust me, that's like the best strategy that you can apply that will really just make you stand out from the crowd. So we do these mini tests, whether they are testing a different kind of landing page, whether it's testing a new ad copy, whether it's testing a different kind of image or a video. And we do this every Monday. And what most people think is, oh, Rohan's such a small test. Like how would that really make a difference, right? 10%, like, does that really matter? What you don't understand is that you don't understand compounding, okay? So if you take this into a period of 1 year, let's say, and you do this test every Monday, just imagine how much insights you will have and what all you would have learned as compared to all of your competitors. And you can then use that knowledge and those learnings in order to go out and, just be different and spend a lot more money on ads and get better results. The third thing that I learned is about rising cost per lead. Now, when we initially started advertising on Facebook, we were paying around about 16 rupees cost per click. And now our cost per click is around like 30-40 rupees, right? And that's completely fine because we are still profitable. But the problem is that this trend will keep on going on. So what I started noticing is after, you have tried out different kind of ads and you really stand out from the competition, if your cost per lead, you might notice like, okay, Rohan, this tip really helped me reduce my costs, really helped me get some phenomenal results. But how do I actually take this even, one step forward? Well, what I learned is that, when you're in a market, right, especially a niche market, and you are advertising, over time, more and more players will start entering that market. So when I started out, there were not a lot of people doing consulting and coaching. And now there's like everybody else, like I'm sure there's this guy who launched this company called UAbility. So that being said, what's happening is, over time, as your ads get better, people start copying and pasting them and literally start, using them in their ad copy. And as a result, your costs start going up. So what you must realize is that on Facebook, there are just, certain number of people, that's your target audience, right? And once they have seen that ad creative again and again, and when they start seeing other people do something similar, you need to be different again. And what you need to do is you need to refresh your ads again and again and make sure that you're bringing out fresh content to this target audience. Otherwise, if they keep saying the same stuff from you and then other people are copying you and then they're seeing that stuff over there, they would naturally stop engaging with your ads. So the best thing that I can do or I would recommend doing is, consistently keep refreshing, keep showing something different to your marketplace. So what we learned is that, every once a year, we need to refilm our funnel, or we need to redo another type of marketing. Maybe it could be a different set of ads, or maybe it could be a different funnel altogether, because within a one year of period, our audience has already seen a lot of stuff and now they want to see something different. They want to see a refreshed version of the message that you're trying to actually bring across, and that's what they want to see. So that's why every year, in addition to the mini test that we are doing Monday, we do a complete refresh from all the knowledge that we got by doing those mini tests or every Monday. Whatever insights we get by doing those mini tests for 1 year period, we then use them collectively and create something brand new altogether, which basically refreshes our marketing and allows people to see something, awesome. And as a result, they're like, wow, these people have now launched something new. even though it might be based around the same messaging, people like to see new stuff, and as a result, your cost per lead and your cost will go down again. So now that you have basically launched new ads and new creatives, you have actually refreshed your marketing every year, and you still want to actually decrease your ad costs, what I would recommend doing is increase the size of your audience, right? So if you are like super niche, right? Let's say you are trying to work with only, let's say companies doing 300 crores a year, right? Now you had like a very very specific kind of marketing. Now chances are that those audiences have actually seen your message again and again, and now your cost is just rising, and you're slowly, gradually tapping out of audience on that particular platform. Now what you can do is either expand to another platform. Let's say, if you're doing Facebook, you can expand to YouTube, and that's like what we did to find new set of audiences. Or what you can do is you can start going in the general category or much more broader category, so that you can start helping people like a little bit broader in that category. So for example, if you are exclusively working with solar companies doing 300 crores a year, right, then in that case, if you want to really expand your market, maybe you will have to target people who are, let's say, doing 100 to 200 CR a year in the solar business, or eventually under 100 CR a year. And then eventually, once you even tap out of that, you will have to expand to an opportunity where you are teaching people, or you're helping people to start a solar business from scratch, and let's say, achieve their first 10 CR. So you have to keep going broader and broader in order to, expand your marketing. So that's a strategy that's used by a lot of people. I personally didn't want to do that because I just don't want to work with a broader audience. I just want to work with less people, a specific group of people. So what I did was I just expanded my channel. So rather than just advertising on Facebook, we advertise on other platforms as well. We are able to find the number of people that we want to work with every month. We just work with them. Our acceptance rate is 4%, and we make a lot of money. So that's like the strategy that I prefer. But if you want, and if you don't want to do that, maybe you want to just work with like, a broader market. So keep expanding your horizons every time you cap out your market on a particular platform, or just find another platform in addition to what you're using. So one good strategy that really worked well for us is basically, if you want to expand your audience as well, like one strategy that really worked well for us is taking all our winning audiences that had been proven to work, and then just putting them all together into one audience, and then just running it. And that just produced like phenomenal results for us, right? Because now it becomes like from a 1 lakh to 5 lakh to audience to like a million, 2 million people, or 5 million people audience, which allows us to reach more and more people.